Hello, everybody. What's going on, guys? My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl. Below me is Max. Welcome to 2 Minute Drill, another special episode of the Beyond the Backboard Podcast. This week we're going to be talking about the NBA's ratings. There's been a lot of talk about that more recently, with the NBA's ratings kind of tanking in the past year. There are several reasons for that, but let me get up my timer here.
Two, one.
So
Go.
the NBA wonders why their ratings are declining. First of all, there's way too many games in the regular season. When there's 82, I know it's always been 82 games, but man, some of these games, I know they tried to help it with the in-season tournament, but that, let's be real, it's clearly not doing anything for the ratings. I think fewer games would greatly benefit the NBA. You could easily cut the schedule down to 72 games, trim some of the fat off, fewer league pass games, just put more games on national TV if you can. Make the fans kind of care more about each game. You know, if there was 185 games, people would watch fewer of them because each game means less. So trim the schedule, I think, would be the first step. And the second step is, which I don't really know what the NBA can do to fix this, but like the game's just kind of getting boring now that every team looks the same and just shoots threes. The fact that we have advanced analytics makes every team do the exact same things and take the exact same shots. Basically, every NBA game now just comes down to a 3-point shootout, which is exciting at first, but when it's every single game, every single night, it can get boring. So I don't blame fans for tuning out. It does get tough to watch when the entire offense is just one guy drives down the middle, kicks out to a three, miss, rebound, transition pull up three, miss, rebound, other transition three, basket, come down the other end and do the same thing. It's just the same repetitive offense over and over. There's no variation in the game anymore. It feels like certain niches and styles of play are getting ruled out. So honestly, I don't know what the league can do to fix that. Maybe they can move the 3-point line back a little bit. Maybe that would get teams to take fewer threes. But I do think a game that's played more inside, more in the mid-range, and has more nuance to it is more exciting than just teams taking 63s a game. Like, didn't Golden State and Dallas just break the record for most threes attempted in a game? I don't think that's necessarily very entertaining basketball, and I think a lot of fans would agree with that. So I would say that those are probably the two biggest reasons why the ratings are going down. Again, think a shorter season, make each game mean more would help. Maybe you can move the 3-point line back, abolish the in-season tournament because that's not doing anything for anyone. I think those are some of the moves that the league could make if they wanted to get their per game ratings up. I don't know if that would help their overall ratings, but certainly per game would be beneficial.
Nice. I like that.
All
Early,
right.
you go next. I volunteer you.
All right,
And go.
yeah, for me, I feel like there's a couple reasons why the NBA ratings are down. Reason number one, on my main point, is NBA does a bad job of marketing small market teams.
Mhm.
I'll bring up the example of, even though it sounds crazy, like the Nets, the Hornets, the Pistons have all had pretty fun games this season that have been league pass games, and not a lot of people get a chance to watch those. But you have Dennis Schroeder having one of his best seasons. The Nets have 11 wins, which is kind of funny. You have the Pistons, what 10 plus wins, and they've beaten some really good teams as well. And most of those games are kind of close, even the ones they lose. So I feel like showcasing Cade Cunningham and all those guys on Detroit. I mean, I think Tim Hardaway Jr. the other night had a crazy game. I think that one might have been on TV though. But my point is, NBA has to realize they complain about us not having the next face to lead, but a lot of those teams that will be that are teams who suck right now. The teams who are going to get the Cooper Flags of the world. Sorry, not talking about the Wizards. I'm sorry, that team's just not good to watch. But
Yeah.
I just feel like even the Hornets, like LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, at one point they were averaging 30 plus, both of them together in games and winning and taking out big teams. So I feel like if the NBA wants to grow, wants to get better, you have to have maybe like a couple spotlight games each week that maybe not necessarily are like the Bucks or the Warriors or the Lakers of the world or Knicks of the world. You have to go but down to some smaller market teams and kind of advertise those a little bit better, in my opinion. Also, I agree with Max. I think 3-pointers are just toxic. I mean, last night I watched OKC shoot 16% from three from the glorious in-season tournament game championship. Meanwhile, while the Bucks shot a lot of threes too, but they actually made theirs. But it just felt like a 3-point shootout, which I don't think the NBA should 100% pivot their game towards that. I want to see some more action down in the paint. That's why it sucks when, like, shout out to John Morant too. Like, when he said he wasn't gonna dunk and stuff, it kind of sucks because people want that type of excitement. Yeah,
Sorry, I had to cut you off there, Earl. You know the
all
rules.
good. Go ahead.
All right, my 2 minutes. I agree with every single one of you. Like, you guys hit every single point on the hammer. I do think the NBA has a big problem with not marketing to small market teams. Um, Teams like Indiana, teams like Sacramento, teams like
Hey,
uh, You just brought up the Pistons. Like, these teams deserve more of a spotlight. If the NBA is complaining a lot, I think they should really consider I think what the NBA should actually do is start putting the games that are small markets on League Pass just fully at this point, because you have people paying for League Pass, but like, let's say me, I live in the New York area. I can't watch the Knicks because my cable provider has it. Okay, what if I don't have cable? I can't watch the Knicks? That's why people go to Stream East. That's why people go to Meth Streams. That's why people go to these websites. Because, and by the way, that accounts for loss of viewership as well. So if the NBA wants to stop this problem entirely, they really have to focus in on getting to smaller market teams. Another aspect of it is, I don't think it's a huge aspect, but I do think an aspect of it is the inconsistent reffing around the league. There needs to be public accountability from an outside organization that get all of these refs together, whether it's basketball, soccer, football. All of these refs are in an association where they are essentially either fined or taken off of a couple of games based on the refs association. It's not good. This reffing is a huge issue. And that's all I have time for, unfortunately. 2-minute collective thoughts. I still think it's the refs. I mean, it's, to some small degree, I really think it's
the refs have always been bad.
The refs have always been bad, but they weren't like as bad as they were back in the day.
NBA just has to they have to pivot towards. I think NBA has to pivot towards marketing some of these younger stars a little bit better, because a lot of these upcoming stars are on terrible teams. So it's like, how are we supposed to like fall in love with these new players who we're going to spend our older years watching if we don't see them play ball in their younger days, in my opinion, too. But I agree with both good points.
But also, I think the league would be better off marketing teams more so than players, because players are temporary, teams are forever. And if you can get fans to build alliances to organizations more so than players, you're more likely to get lifelong fans. Because think about it, if you're a Cade Cunningham fan and then he retire, I mean, obviously we got, this is thinking kind of long term here, but like, I think you're seeing it now with like, okay, let's say you're a Bron fan. Bron's going to retire in a few years. Now what do? If you don't have a team alliance, what are you going to do? You're going to root for his son? All right, good luck with that. If you're a KD fan, what are you going to do when KD retires? If you're a Steph fan, what are you going to do when Steph retires? If you don't feel an alliance to the teams that they played for or the teams in the league, you're probably just not going to watch. So I feel like they can do a better job of actually marketing the teams themselves that actually will survive.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing too, because I agree to that point. Like, my point is this: like, these teams are gonna be bad now, but like, okay, it's like, oh, Cade's playing good now, but hey, we're getting a pick too. We're building something special here in Detroit. Some fans might feel a connection to that. Oh, maybe they're invested. Well, we got Cooper Flagg now. Like, they can build those type of relationships. Like, if you think about it, all around the world, everyone is a fan of every team. There's always a fan for each of these teams. Yeah. But some of them don't get showcased enough for new fans to become fans. Like, when you just watch a Pistons game for fun? Just saying.
Me. No, I don't.
But yeah.
I really do hate these rules sometimes, but we create them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode of 2-Minute Drill. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, guys, if you want us to talk about a particular topic and that you feel strongly about, hit us up in the comments. Let us know, and we'll definitely break it down for y'all nice and easy. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate every single one of you, and peace.